Yeah, the last few weeks did not go as planned. We were, yeah. Let me get the link posted, and then I'll go into everything. Oh, it's been good. There's nothing's been bad. Just oh my god. Okay, let me just get this posted. Going live, going live, going live on YouTube and Twitch. Oh, now I see why. There's like a giant streak of something on my glasses right now, so I should probably clean my glasses because it's like one of those situations of like, okay, is it the eyes or is it the accessories? And apparently it's the accessories right now. All right, we'll also post this on the Twitch link. Thanks, Cat. Jesus. Criminy. If it's not the kids, it's the cats. And vice versa. Twitch.tv/Atelier Nikosuki. Anyway, so I do have some stuff I wanted to get some obi bags sewn. What I'm hoping we can get done is the scrunchies and the mini traveler slings, and then a few more of these. Like, I just found because there's nothing like adding a brand new product right now. Yeah. I found a new pattern for a belt bag, which I think will be really good because I have been asked for that a few times. And then I also wanted to get some of the minis done and blah 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 blah, whatever. We'll see what we get done, because honest to God, I only fucking have I have today, and I have the kids' school day tomorrow. Yay. Okay, why? Oh, God. Fucking Twitch. Well, I guess the good thing is as long as I'm, going through to them, it'll broadcast it. All right. Here we are. So this is it is still an experimental one. There's a grease mark. Okay, good. Anyway, it's an experimental one, blah, 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 blah. It's a belt bag. It's got a curved seam, because, why wouldn't it have a curved seam right now? The instructions on it are very mediocre. I will say that. It is a free pattern, so I don't know what I expected. But I'm just kind of like, nothing really matches up, and I'm not 100% sure why. And I don't think it's me. I think it's the pattern. I did adjust a few things. I did use a zipper foot on this one versus the experimental one, which I definitely fucked up because I didn't get the seam allowances right. Actually, we should go in here and trim some of this seam down because it's curved and so it is angry. But I am seeing a lot of people saying that nothing matches up for them, so I don't feel as bad as I did. Okay, so when I do these sorts of things, basically what I do is I usually take a pair of pinking shears in and I just pinking shear it, because it creates the little triangles that you need to ease around the curves anyway, without having to go in and trim individual little, yeah, no, that lays way flatter already. It is super cute, so I hope it works this time. Like I said, the directions were unclear. I think I have it this time. I don't know. I do know a couple of things. I do have to top stitch this. So let's do all the top stitching, because I do have another bag under there that's just a wedge bag that also needs to be top stitched. Yeah, this is so tight on the zipper that it 100% needs top stitching. All right, so let's throw this under, get it top stitched. Seeing that curve, I will start top stitching it as I do the layers instead of after I do the layers, but whatever. Like I said, learning curves. Ha 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 ha. It's curved. Looks good though. And then this one's definitely very close to the teeth, so what I'm going to do So I'm going to like pull this. Hello, my dear. How are you doing? Thank you. We are literally down to like about 10 hours of prep time for Otafest, so I'm not 100% sure why I'm experimenting with something new, but here we are. I do have like a wedge bag out of this. If this pattern's been weird. It is free. It's out of Montreal, which is not why it's weird. Core Fabrics, I think is the name. Anyway, it's like should be a really straightforward like belt bag, fanny pack, bum bag, whatever the fuck you want to call it. When I was a kid, they were fanny packs. But I do understand that fanny is not the least offensive word all around the world either. Or at least the least suggestive word around the world, I guess, might be the better description. Anyway, but yeah, it's not as easy as the like things looked. Right? Exactly. Magic always happens within 12 hours of having to be done. Unpacking the truck so we unpacked the truck because, oh God. Okay, we're gonna back up here. This is another one. Okay, so this is actually the plan that I was going to do with the belt bags, was we will be doing more upcycled denim as well. But that bag's fucked up right now, so it's getting seam ripped. I am actually seam ripping it, but I'm going to pop it over there. That was the zip and grip as well, so we'll work on that later. Anyway, obviously I said I was going to be on. That obviously didn't happen. The main thing being that actually... So Dallas took vacation. We went up to Dawson, and then basically the rest of vacation was running. I feel like that's all we basically did all vacation. Now, granted, I guess that was kind of his plan, but I was like, holy shit, this is a lot more than I anticipated. So yeah, we ran, and we had a couple birthday things in there, and I didn't even get down, like I came downstairs and did not tidy up, basically. I moved so I've got like a long table behind me here. You guys haven't seen it yet because I promptly started working as soon as I tidied up the studio. Moved the studio around. It's not tidy. You'll see it later. But anyway, there's a table over there that we added in, and we added in what I'm calling the visiting chair, which is where people can sit and like chill with me if they want. Anyway, oh right, that's not what I want. I do want, oh no, that's what I want. I basically, that's all I did, is I moved that and kind of like, I opened up the middle of the room a little bit more. Versus having the chair so far into the room, it feels a lot better. Doesn't feel quite as crunched on my like whip area back here that keeps like expanding. And so that's all I did down here. I was gonna like test out sewing some stuff, and it just time is gone. Am I surprised? No, that's usually how it goes. Am I annoyed? Yeah, a little bit. I did think that there'd be, well, okay. I did think that I would at least be able to sleep in one morning, and not even that happened. I'm like, what the fuck? I did finish the anime that we had started, though. Free Ren. Dallas was saying that it knocked Brotherhood, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, out of apparently some of the most popular lists. This is totally a personal, like, preference thing. I do not see how it did yet. I'm wondering if it's... Oh, shit, we ran out of bobbin thread all the way back there, because of course we did. I'm wondering if it's because people, like, the manga is ahead of the anime, and so people are like, oh, she's gonna, like, cut this arc and stuff like that. And Dallas is thinking that it's probably because of the character development. And I'm like, I don't know. I like my action anime, I guess. Maybe I just like shonen or shoujo better. It's okay. It's not as much existential crisis as I was dreading, so that's good at least. But we finished it. We haven't watched an anime together for like years with the kids. And then I had my last long run yesterday. See, told you. Run. That's all we did all May. Let's run and have birthday parties. Yeah, 12 miles on the treadmill because it was Rainy as fuck here yesterday, which is awesome. We need the rain. Please, please, please. And it's supposed to rain like all week. Which hopefully doesn't impact like Otafest attendance too much. Maybe actually it'll bring more people in. I don't know. I think Friday and Saturday, or Saturday at least, is sold out. And then we did, actually, so at Mother's Day, we did do a point-to-point run, which means that I ran from like one location, and then Dallas actually drove down with the kids, and they met me at another location. We went to a new bakery, which was so good. Absolute chaos, but it was delicious. Worth it. And then to a new playground for the kids too, which was actually a lot of fun. So, but yeah, I watched the Barbie movie yesterday on the treadmill while I was running. Hadn't seen it yet, so that was fun. And then I started fried green tomatoes, which I forgot how sad the start of that movie is. I have watched it before, but hi. Keeping stuff in the brain some days, not so good. Okay, so that's both top stitched out of the way. This one does, so the in-between zipper does have zipper tabs. The top one is not going to have zipper tabs because when I've made something similar in the past, the zipper tabs have like worn out the fastest on the bag, so we're just going to not happening this time. Okay, now I think that those two need, whatever. I'm going to sew this together. This should actually be pretty straightforward, and that's why I kind of want to add something similar back in, because again, it's that small wedge bag, but as a purse, I do know I need to sew this down at least, so that we have our pocket finished. And basically what I'm doing is I'm smashing up a couple different like wedge bag patterns here. Very similar to what I used to make for wedge bags, and then a little bit based on a pattern that I purchased a few years ago to make handbags from, which turned out to be very similar to what I used to make, so we're just going to go with what I used to make. A little bit of a mashup, added the pocket, very similar sizing. We might do a little bit larger wedge because I feel like a purse needs a little bit larger wedge, and it is a little bit longer than the pattern I used to make, so we'll go with that. Now, what we do need to do here is we do need to actually add the zipper pull back on. What I needed to do was figure out which way it needed to go so that both the zippers match. Anyway, thank you to everyone who came out to Dawson Creek and supported the show. I greatly appreciated that. As I know, obviously, Lou and Cindy do as well, since they are the organizers. They own Faking Sanity up in Dawson Creek. I did actually get a chance to go around and do a tour of the show, so that has been posted as a video. Excuse me. All right, let's just choke here. Spit down the wrong windpipe, or down the wrong pipe. Anyway, yeah, so I did a tour of Dawson Creek. I've posted it as a video. Hasn't been edited, so you know, just kind of put it up as an actual video instead of just leaving it in the live folder, because I know you guys did really enjoy Knit City. I know Knit City is a very different show, but honestly, a lot of these smaller shows are just as fun. Oh no, I topped this through the lining. Really? Did I? Fuck, just on the very edge. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to do that for Otafest, although I do have a friend coming with me to do the days. Really, it's gonna depend. I'm hoping that it's really busy. So let's hope that I don't have time to do it. Because that would be good. Dawson Creek sales were down 30%. But it was also the day before our election, so I have a feeling everyone was holding their breath. At least that's what I'm hoping. Dude, what are you wrecking now? Okay, fine. Yeah, so that was interesting. Yeah, of course. I have a lot of fun doing that stuff. And everyone was very gracious. I did go around and actually I was able to check in the morning before I went around. I was like, okay, how do you feel about being on camera? And I hope I was able to respect everyone's like wishes about that as well. I tried my best. I realized afterwards, I'm like, oh, I should have just put everyone on the spot. Because I can't necessarily keep track. Anyway. Oh, God. Come on. Okay, it's just this, like, very corner. Which side? Okay, this side is the side that I like. This back side. Now, typically with, or a lot of the times with these wedge bags, I do end up using the same obi on both sides. But this, like, checkered obi doesn't get enough use. I've had it for quite a while. And I was just like, you know what? It needs to shine. So I figured it would make... It's also got a really cool, like, thicker texture. So it's going to work well for this, like, backing on this bag, I think. Okay, come on. Seam rip, seam rip. I know, right? My best... Oh, God. It really fucking depends on the show. Currently, it's the Kato overall. Actually, no, that's a lie. It's the little cat paw scissors. It's not even something I'm making right now. I think I've sold close to 40 pairs of those scissors this year, but they're so cute. For sewing items, the Kato and the small box bag is usually my, like, bread and butter one. The mini traveler, though, is getting up there in numbers. I was actually shocked how few mini travelers sold at this show, but we had however many new Kato, and it's just like the shelf. Dallas came in like at lunchtime-ish, and the shelf was like significantly depleted. He's like, well, you've been selling those. I'm like, yeah, Kato's very popular. But like, I've had shows where the tote bag is the most popular, and no one touched them this show. So it's just, it's like, shit, I've got like 100 more to make. I'm like, well, I don't know if that was a good or a bad plan. I guess they'll sell slowly, right? It's not like fabric goes bad. It's annoying, but they don't go bad. Do you want to make? I want to make some of the upcycled obi totes with the waxed canvas that I got last year. So I think that'll be a focus. It'll be something maybe for July because of Omat City and stuff like that. I don't know yet. Okay, that's gonna get sewn. Yeah, we can sew. We won't sew into that with the. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Okay, I am gonna retack down this edge though because it's just like right at the point where it needs to be done. I don't know why that happened, but whatever. Oh yeah, and my the Kato or the Kato, Kato. So it's by Can Do Crafts, and so that was that was the drawstring bag that we were doing the most work on beforehand. So I know it's popular. That's why I tried to like amp up my stock so much. But I was actually shocked at. So it was not necessarily shocking how many Kato sold, but it was shocking how many or how few of my other bread and butter bags or what I would put in the bread and butter category didn't sell. That was the interesting part with this show. Oh, hello, you are too short. Okay, well, or you're too long. Okay, so that's good to know because this is all of these measurements are winged. Okay, so that's gonna have to be open, but we can do that once I wedge the bag because it's gonna get wedged. The lining looks like it's pretty close. No, the lining is lined up with the green. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna sew it from this side. We're gonna sew it so that there is not an opening. No, because we'll wedge it and then I can turn out through the wedge. That's right. Burr through the wedge, burr through the wedge. So we're gonna start it on the zipper. Actually, just below the zipper. Gonna go with a little bit deeper seam allowance on the lining side. Okay, come on. Ugh, it does not. This is a lighter interfacing, and this machine really does not like this interfacing. It's having issues earlier too. Yeah, I haven't worked with wax canvas before, but I figured there's a lot of patterns where it would be nice to do an exterior fully of wax canvas. What the fuck happened here? And interior of Japanese fabric. What happened? Hi, where are you stuck? Why are you stuck? Jesus criminy. Come on. Okay. Am I gonna regret breaking that? Probably. Oh, maybe not. Shit. Of course. Okay. Well, let's find the bobbin in the bobbin case, which is down here somewhere. And we also had book club tonight, so that was good. It was like, so the kids have started soccer. We'll be here. I'll be here until the whichever child screams at me from the top of the stairs in bloody murder, being like, "Where are you?" I have told them both where I am. But we had soccer, and then I had book club, so they came back and like hung out with their uncle. So the miracle of that one, though, is that they both fall asleep for him, and I get to come home and not have to worry about them. It's amazing. They definitely don't do that for me. They they contact sleep, so it's like they fall asleep with us in the room, which is fine. It would be nice if they're a little bit more independent once in a while, but well, at least they are for someone else. Okay. What's the nonsense that's happening down here? God, I hate having to take the feed dog plates off. I probably need to clean under it because honestly, I didn't clean under it after Dawson. So here we are, behaving and cleaning it out. Okay. So I'm just switching over to the multi-stream chat so I make sure that I'm not missing anything. I don't think Twitch is actually streaming correctly tonight. Fucking annoying. But what'll happen is that the recording will at least get posted to Twitch. So there's that. Yeah, but the drive up to Dawson was okay, straightforward. We ran out of gas, 2K out from our gas station. Yay. Otherwise it was smooth. So that's always nice too. Because there's still a chance like late April, especially in that area, of like a shit ton of snow, to be honest. So yeah, I'm a shitty like drive. Just boring. It is like one of the most boring drives I do, or that we've been on. It's just like, oh my god. Okay. Floof, clean up. Alright, we definitely have a lot of fluffing in here. Now, where did this get stuck is the question. Ooh, that's a chunk of something. Okay, get out of here, thank you. It was just fluff chunks. But it was a massive fluff chunk, because why not? Okay. I might have to actually put a thread down in and like catch whatever this one that's here. Yeah, so book club this month was Phantasma and Enchantra. There we go. And then next month, so that was one of the things I did get to go out to do that wasn't running or birthday related, was, oh, fuck me, what did I do? Not in a good way either. Oh, so Daniel L. Jensen is our next book club author, and my friend gave me one of her books last year, and then, so this is the second one that just came out. Fate Inked in Blood and a Curse, something blood. Fate Inked in Blood, Curse Carved in Bone? I think that's it. Anyway, Danielle L. Jensen, she's a local Calgary author, which is super cool. And so we did get to go to that, which was a lot of fun. She's a really good presenter, so if you're into like romantasy smut sort of books, she was really, yeah. So far I'm enjoying the book. It's slow. It's slow. But I'm enjoying it. At least the romance part of it's kind of slow. I can see where it's going, which is the annoying part. And so I'm just like, okay, how are you going to like do this? So that's next month's book club. This month's book club was Phantasma and Enchantra, which it seemed like most people were half and half on. I adored it. I did also go into it though, turning my brain off and just listening to it. And it was perfect for that. I was entertained. There were no higher stakes or anything like that. It wasn't political. It just was. So I really enjoyed that. Enchantra was also very good, and it feels like there's going to be more in the series. It felt previously like there might only be 2 books. I couldn't tell. Feels now like there's going to be a bunch more, which I am not mad at. That is a ridiculous temperature for me. We are currently, oh, I don't even know. I think our high today was like 15 degrees. Oh yeah, so starting soccer, it's been like ridiculously windy. Every time we've gone to soccer, it's Tuesday, Thursdays, and it doesn't matter how nice it's been the rest of the day, it's fucking windy as shit up in this like field. Actually, that's a good argument for going to. This soccer club has a ton of different little different branches around Cochrane. And ow, okay, that's definitely sharp. We're good. The dangers of testing things with your fingers, Katie. Anyway, yeah, but I chose this one mostly because it fit the schedule the best. It's like Tuesday, Thursday evenings. We don't have anything Tuesdays, Thursdays, except for Dallas going in or out of town. And so it's just like we can pick them up and go to soccer sort of thing, which is perfect. Whatever. But yeah, it's the issue with outdoor soccer right now is it's usually miserable weather, and it's not been pleasant recently. So I need to invest in another like outdoor chair for me. There we go. Okay. Everything is fixed, and I don't think anything's jammed. We're good. Let's try this again. So I'm sewing it from this direction because the OB exterior here that we're working with, the green gold Segaiha pattern is significantly smaller than the background green, which is fine because this is all, again, it's all hacked patterns. And so we're just, we're going on vibes here right now and trying to figure it out as we go. Because every OB is slightly different shaped. I mostly just cut to whatever we end up needing. Usually I do cut it after I've done a lot, like at least a portion of the construction. But in this case I did not, and that's fine too. We're going on vibes because we have... Ooh, I almost ran over the zipper pole. That would be bad. Let's not run over the zipper pole because it is a big old chunk of metal. And yeah, not fun. Anyway, yeah, we've got very little time to mess around, and I'm messing around for some reason. It's all good. We'll get it figured. Flynn, do not stop that stream. Thank you very much. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. You little bare-sided boy. I know. Why have you been so clingy? Can you say hi? Yeah, say hi. Yes. Sniffing in my face. Okay. There's the corner. Winging it. So everything is pointing. So I'm currently training for the half marathon in Calgary, which is less than 2 weeks. Woo! Not that that ends my run training this year, but at least it's like this one will be done because it has been such a brutal training cycle. Like such a brutal training cycle. Oh my God. Besides the point anyway. Yeah, I'll just be done. I'll be glad to be done. I say as I sniffle. I cannot tell if this is pollen or if the kids have actually given me another cold. And I'm like, either way, it's not fun. I think it's another cold, which sucks. I don't know why I keep getting sick right before big shows. Because it's not like I'm not eating and like sleeping correctly since Dallas was home. It's not even like I was down here working late every night. Which is what I should have been doing. But, oh well. Yeah, our youngest, the poor kiddo, up in Dawson at, so Dallas's dad has old friends in Dawson Creek. So we're like, that's part of why we'd go up to Dawson, is that it's a good way to go visit them and everything like that. Blah, blah, blah. And, getting set up to like do some stuff and things like that. They used to be in a band, so they were gonna like jam a little bit, blah blah. again, blah, blah, blah. And the youngest, no, actually, never mind. I do want that to be the smaller measurement. The youngest came in to go to the washroom and just absolutely smashed their face on the stairs. Actually knocked a tooth in. Didn't knock it out, and they're baby teeth. Apparently we might be lucky too, because they're past the age, so if it'd been a little bit younger, it would have been more likely for them to actually cause permanent damage to the adult tooth above it. But apparently because of the age that they are, it's unlikely that we'll see any damage to that adult tooth, which is good. It didn't bruise badly or anything like that, and it does look like it's mostly shifted back into place actually, but it was probably knocked back by a good 1/4 inch when I first saw it. I'm like, oh god, you poor kid. Blood everywhere. Of course, it's cut lip and just ugh. But at the same time, it's what they had been doing is they were as they were walking up steps, they would just put their tippy toes right on the edge of the step, and it's okay, you need to put your full foot on that step or you're going to smash your face. Guess what they did? And it was slippery because it was hardwood or some sort of wood looking flooring, so slippery. And that's exactly what they did. They put their toe on the tread and not the full foot and smashed their face. And it's just oh my god. Of course, I still feel bad for the kid, but I'm just this is what we told you would happen. We aren't telling you these things. We aren't making these rules for, oh, fuck, I got the goddamn. We need D-rings to make it a purse. Could just make it a wedge bag, I guess, but let's make it a purse. Fuck me. Okay. We're going to put it down. Let's put it above the zipper. Sure. No. Yeah, it can go right here. Anyway, so yeah, so it's just okay. They have not, since then, they have been putting their feet very firmly on the fucking stair. Anyway, they just turned 4, so being late 3 is really tough. We know this, but my god. This child. Also, I don't know what it is about going into soccer time, but both of them go feral. And I'm okay, is this just a bad time to be transitioning out of be transitioning into soccer? I feel that might be part of it. 3/4, okay. But it's just they just lose their minds. Tonight they were trying to punch each other at the door because the eldest wanted to be the leader and the youngest was there. I don't even know what was happening because I'm in the kitchen trying to make them supper so they can have a picnic with their uncle so that we can go to soccer. Tone it down, guys. I'm holy shit. Oh well. Kids. I guess that's what. I guess that's the fallout of having 2 4-year-olds in the house for 3 weeks. The eldest is almost 5, so they are almost exactly 11 months apart. And yes, that wasn't the original plan, but the second was planned. It wasn't an oops. Because we had the first in May 2020, and I just looked at my husband, and I'm do you know what, if we want to, let's just get this over with. We're not going anywhere for a while. We're just going to be done. Let's do it. And here we are. And honestly, I'm looking at other people having kiddos now, and I'm yeah, I would not want to be going from a 4-year-old to a newborn. I get it. Everyone's situation is different, but for us, I'm no, that would have been I am finally feeling mostly like myself, kind of. Something. My training's going well. That was actually the other big argument. It's I don't want to have to recover and then just redo it again later. Kind of ugh. Sounds like a meh situation. All right, there is the D-rings in. Let's go back over this. La 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 la. Because, you know, nothing like missing an integral part of a bag, especially on stream. Look at me go, though. I even seam ripped it, and I'm fixing it. My God, no timeout for this one. Hopefully. This portion actually looks like it probably could use another sew over anyway. And you know what? Since we're gotta turn it, I will do the choop here for the turning seam. Go. Okay. Now, open this up. We gotta open the zipper so that we can actually turn the bag. Okay. Get you out of the way, and then we will sew you together. Oh, this is gonna look really good. Yay! Nice deep seam so that everything just kind of a nice deep wedge for the actual bag, and B, a nice deep seam so that everything's like for sure caught, blah blah blah, whatever. Ooh, we did get to Goodwill today, and I actually found a bunch of, so I found a duvet cover and sheets that we can use for pockets. And then actually what I brainwaved today was men's dress shirts. Because here's the thing, it was actually really hard to find any sheets without a without being either fully polyester or a partial polyester blend. And I don't want to use polyesters. Like, okay, I don't know what the OB are. Obviously, I can do burn tests till the cows come home. But like, I will never be able to be 100% sure most of the time. So, barring that, if I know the fiber content, I prefer not using polyester outside of my thread, because the thread is just, will hold better than cotton thread usually, typically. But anyway, it was really hard to find sheets that were not some sort of cotton or polyester or polyester blend. I did find some, obviously, but whatever. Anyway, but I was like, wait, if I go in and like look at the dress shirts, there's a good source of like, especially in the larger sizes, that's quite a bit of fabric. And lo and behold, there are a lot of good dress shirts with like some different patterns and stuff like that for pockets. Do I need more pocket fabric right now? You could argue no. I would always argue yes. Obviously. But yeah, I still found some cool stuff. It's not like I need to use it right away. It'll be around. So yeah, we'll test those out over the summer. They're upstairs getting washed right now in a sanitized wash in my washing machine, just to make sure everything's nice and squeaky clean and ready to go. Yeah, so that was successful. I think kids were, again, feral in there. They were like in the cart fighting over who was going to hold the hangers. Just like, oh my God. Can't win right now. Yay! Oh my goodness. Becky, look at her butt. Okay, that looks really fucking good. Yeah. Okay, pull the zipper up here. Come on. There we go. Oh, so good. Okay, so that's a little bit more centered than I was intending it to be here, but whatever. It looks really good. It's nice and like over top of that. I wanted it over the gold line. I thought it would be higher on the bag, to be honest. But I definitely have to do the interfaced logos before we sew anything together, because otherwise it's too many layers. Anyway, we've got a crossbody obi wedge bag ready. They're all going to be slightly different, because did I write down any measurements? Hell no. So yeah, this is also a much larger band up above here. I was, again, intending that to be higher up on the bag, but she looks good. Okay, the true test is, let's finish that seam there. And then what I need to do is I need to make sure that pocket fits the foam, because that's the one That's the thing that annoys me the most about purses right now is that, well, okay, it's a twofold thing. Phone sizes are always changing, so I get it, but also phone pockets on purses are never large enough. Like, just make it too large, and then we can fit whatever monstrosity we get into it. Okay, come on. Alright. Closed up. So the interior on this one is actually obi. So this is, or not obi, sorry, it's kimono. It's a kimono lining. Just obviously white. Very straightforward. In extremely good shape, so it was worth using. It's actually what the lining is for the bum bag or the fanny pack, whatever the hell you want to call it. I think a lot of people are calling them belt bags now, which is also a good one for it. Basically, it's a crescent moon crossbody. I think it's actually what they would refer to it a little bit more as. Or belt bag. Yeah. Oh, she's gorgeous. Okay, I'm really glad that I did go actually with the green on the back. A little bit more like chill color or patterning. The green on the front is, well, it's vibrant on both sides, but the green with the gold is very traditional, but it's also extremely vibrant. Yep. Phone fits in the back pocket. This is the 16 Pro, not the Max though, but it would fit the Max as well, I think. And it gives it a nice heft on the bottom, so you're not like, yeah, and it's not like huge either. So it's, woo, where am I? It's like here. let's take a guess. Yeah, she's not big. She's not huge, but you definitely could fit like a good wallet in there. You probably, yeah, it's like you couldn't do it up with the water bottle, that size of water bottle in there. Well, yeah, there we go. That's not the intended use, but you can if you need to. But yeah, like a 500 milliliter water, or 500 milliliter water bottle or something like that would fit in there fine. Pocket here is actually, so this is obi, this is obi, this is obi, and then this interior that's white here is kimono. All right, so all we'll have to do for that then tomorrow is sew the strap. And if you're like, Katie, why aren't you sewing the strap now? Don't fucking feel like it. We're gonna go move on to this, trying to figure out this frickin' belt bag. So it's super cute, but it's like they want me to sew this piece to it. The seam allowances are 1/2 inch, so I definitely got a 1/2 inch seam allowance on this zipper, because I did put my zipper foot in. I actually behaved myself and followed the instructions there. Put the zipper foot in. It's still not lining up. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to like get these out of the way, because what they want you to do, let's see, so I get why some of these things have to happen the way that they do, but I'm still annoyed that they have to happen the way that they do. Do we have the zip pull on? We do have the zip pull on. And then basically you have to take this piece and it has to line up. But see, here's the thing is it's too, oh, yeah. The body is too tall. Okay, whatever, we'll just fudge it. Okay, so whatever. We do not sew over the zipper right now. So what we're going to do is the tried and true. Actually, no. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't want you to sew over the zipper. So we're just going to sew back and forth right to the zipper edge. And then I'll pop it down here and then we'll sew it because we're following instructions, and that was not the right seam allowance. We will do that when we go in to put the lining piece in, because I'm still seam ripping out the first one and failing at that miserably because it's taken out fabric too. So I'm just like, I don't want to seam rip anything else. Anyway, it is cute. It's worth it, but it's like, why can't... Instructions very unclear. Because I was like, okay, well, do we go around... whatever, it doesn't matter. Shit. Did I not mirror them correctly? Fuck me. What the hell happened here that I can't do it? I can't I? No. Did Did I not cut that correctly? Anyway, in most cases, what I want to do is I want to do these side flaps in denim and the back in denim as well. But again, same thing as that wedge bag. It just looks really good with this textured green obi. Yeah. Okay, so why didn't you tell me that those needed to be mirrored pattern? Or did you and I ignored it? Because that's totally possible too. No, it just says to cut 2 fabric. Well, fuck you too then. Katie is cranky. I did actually have a nap earlier today. I told the kids, I'm like, I need you to go on your iPads for a few minutes and let me have a nap, or else my cranky pants are really going to come out. Yeah, because that one, they're both cut the same way. And it doesn't say to do it. It says belt bag side view A, cut 2 fabric and 2 lining. But that means that they need to be mirrored, because they both need to be able to do... Oh god, my brain is broken anyway. Right? Am I just not doing it, not thinking about it correctly? Because normally if you need to mirror it, they tell you to mirror it. But there is no way to sew this on, right? No, because it would have to go this way. That's why I fucked up last time. Yeah, see, and there's like a 1/2 inch extra fabric up here. I don't get it. Oh, I wonder if that's the seam allowance for the back. Whatever. Right? Am I crazy? No, I don't think I'm... Well, at least I'm not crazy for this. Because that would go there. Okay, yeah, they need to be mirrored. Mostly annoyed because it's like I actually interfaced those correctly and everything. I behaved myself. Okay, do it. And then the other portion of this is that I cut it fairly tight. So do I have any spare fabric for it? No, I gotta cut a whole new strip off the obi. God damn. Cranky, cranky. Cranky, cranky. Oh, okay, good. Not quite a disaster because it is all warbly at the top here. Anyway, I did... Oh, great. That is the one thing that I did sew the other day. I did come down and I did actually sew the... Sorry, I am off camera, but we're just going to cut this extra... No, it needs to be mirrored. I just about cut it the same way. Anyway, I did come down and actually do the trays. I experimented with a couple of those, and I did an obi tray, which turned out fucking adorable. And I also did I tried one with cotton and canvas. It was still really floopy, so I had to order interfacing. I got interfacing in. Apparently, it looks like there must be some sort of supply issue with Pellon, because I couldn't even buy it like Fabricland or anything like that. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I had to get Pellon in, some like fusible fleece. But they turn out, they look really good with the fusible fleece. So basically it's cotton, quilt cotton with fusible fleece with a canvas. It turned out really good. I do want to do some of the obi ones that are snap up as well. That'll be good. So that'll be, yeah, the project in all the hours I have tomorrow. I'm sure I have enough time. Oh, fuck me. Did I still cut it wrong? No, I did not. No, because that's the back. Okay. Right? Yeah, that's the back. Okay. Now, I do need to interface it because the obi is like... It's not delicate, but it's not the heartiest material for this one either. It's partly why I do tend to interface the obi quite a bit. Okay, sorry, I know. A lot happened off camera. I should have started the iron up, and that doesn't look right. Okay, I'm going to start the iron. And then I'm going to cut one more piece. Would help if I actually cut it with the obi properly flat, but you know, the cutting table is absolutely chock full of shit right now. I say that lovingly, but there's a lot of stuff on here. Lots of stuff. There we go. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna do okay, that's the flap. belt bag. And we need it this way because we need it to go... No, we need it this way because we need it to go that way on the bag. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we'll do some OB trays tomorrow as well, I think. They don't take very long to sew. The snaps, honestly, I think will take longer to install, but that's okay. I'm thinking wrap up on the scrunchies and any mini traveler's things that we can get. So here's hoping that my machine doesn't decide to be a complete jackass and we just continue to have nice, send me smooth sewing vibes for tomorrow. Because the pressure is on. When is it not? I say that every show. Okay, that looks a little bit better. We'll press it and we'll see what's happening. Cranky, cranky, cranky. Where is the pressing cloth that I was using earlier? Is that it? Oh, there it is. At least one of them. Okay. That's still going to warm up. So I'm going to come have some water. I hope I got this right. Wonder actually if I applied the interfacing on the wrong side. That might be part of what happened actually too. I don't know. I'm just the maker. Who knows? But that is actually possible now that I think of it, because it's like I didn't necessarily take it direct. I did take it pretty much directly from the cutting table to the press, but that doesn't mean that the pieces went on the way that they were intended either. So, no, not yet. Press isn't hot enough yet. So I'm gonna cut the OB tray while we're waiting for that to warm up. Gotta say that the edges of this belt bag do look crisper than the edges on the first one I made. So that is an improvement, at least. Okay. I will. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just taking the OB and I'm squaring it up based on its own width and trimming it down. Much like if you've watched me do gyoza bags previously, that is exactly the idea I'm going for right now. Actually, a lot of those gyoza bags could be... No, that would be a really big tray. That'd be like probably far too big of tray, to be honest, if I think about it. Okay. There we go. Now these don't have to... Also, these don't need to be perfectly square. I'm just working with them in squares because, honestly, it's easier for my brain right now. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. If it is, I don't know. Don't blame me. Just do as I say, not as I do. All that jazz. Okay, I'm going to throw this piece of the Seigai Ha. So the green gold is going to go under the steam press while we're interfacing so that it actually does get flattened. Because it does need a little bit of TLC. I'll just sew together nicer. It'll still sew fine, but you know, there we go. Now the other thing about this is it's like, I am feeling pressure because I don't know what to expect out of Otafest, but I'm also like, okay, if I don't get a shit ton of stuff done, it really isn't a massive deal because we do still have quite a bit of stock from previous shows. Now, given that a lot of that stock is very knitter oriented, that is one of the moments. So we'll see. I did stock up on scissors because everyone loves the scissors. Legitimately. Ordered like a bunch. Well, 8 pair, like, oh yeah, a bunch. Whatever. Close enough. Whole bunch of bananas. Okay. I'm going to pop the other one under there too because it's not bad, but we'll just confirm it's good. Just a quick little... it's not even on anymore. Just going to pop it under and lift. And pop it under and lift. And we're good. I'm actually probably going to jinx myself, but I am surprised the eldest is not awake yet. Okay, so let's see. This should Okay, so those are both the same direction. So let's cut. Actually, honestly, if I cut one more, then I can use this for the inside interiors. Okay, so did the... Oh shit, that's a good point, actually. Did the interior ones get cut the right direction? So this one is fine. And that one is fine. So what the fuck is going on with the exterior ones? Because there's no other way to place these. Criminy. Okay. One more time. One more time. I'll turn the iron back on. The steam press back on. God. Okay, if it doesn't actually work out now, we'll just go into sewing boxes or trays, because honestly, I think those will be fairly popular. Okay. I'm going to flip the piece so that I know which fuck way I'm cutting this. Good God. Okay. Everything just needs to be cut on the fold. These are not instructed to be cut on the fold. We will cut them on the fold in future so that we avoid this issue. Because good God, is it a waste of fabric? Super annoying for just everyone involved. Very sweary. Although honestly, if you've been watching me for a while, you all know it's very sweary. Doesn't matter if it's going good or bad. Some days doesn't matter if it's going good or bad. Okay, this is the correct orientation now for fabric. I'm not here to judge anything else, just fabric. And I judge fabric harshly some days. Apparently I counted to 10 way too fast. Or that's actually scorching. Who knows? Alright. Interfaced. The correct orientation. Very floopy because it's very hot right now. Good God. Okay. That's it. Let's trim this down. Install it on the bag so that we can move the fuck on. Because holy shit. Now this does call for 1.5 inch stuff, hardware, webbing, etc. I was not going to commit to 1.5 inch webbing, especially not when it's like fighting me so hard. So we're just not. We're going to use the 1 inch stuff that I have. I know that's going to mess with the pattern, but whatever, it's fine. Like, out of everything, that is probably the least egregious thing right now, so. Okay, I am going to wrap up, hopefully on this tonight. And then it's going to be bedtime, because if whether it is allergies or sick, I am fading fast here. And then I can get up early and get the kids to school, like, ASAP in the morning, so we'll try that. Okay, so I am justifying the fabric to the base because I have a feeling that the top might get taken up and other things. I don't know. Proper seam. Actually, I'm gonna scoot it in just a tick. We will still take it up properly with the lining. Okay, can I just sew? No, I cannot. Okay, fine. Can I just sew without touching the zipper? But no, I cannot. So we'll just chain piece by going over top of that, and then we're gonna shoop-a-doop this. There we go. I don't know why shoop-a-doop is the sound effect of choice there, but it is apparently. Now we need to sew the lining into the line. Actually, so are these? No, they're the same cut. Okay, I have a feeling that we'll probably, if we do make more of these, we'll make more out of this fabric. So we'll just keep those. Trim this. Trim this. Okay, so this one goes on this side, and then basically just what I have to do is fold. I'm gonna fit this the way. The same I did on the other side. I don't know why I get such weird accents when I'm doing that, but apparently we do. Okay. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Trying not to manipulate the zipper too much. We're just going to like clippy clip. Yes, it is, my dear. We're working on. So we've got a belt bag, and I did just finish a small wedge bag with dual-sided obi. So right now I'm working on a new belt bag pattern, and swearing up a storm because it is fighting hard, like insanely hard. And I can't tell if it's the pattern or me. I think it's the pattern. I'm gonna blame the pattern. Stuff like they want mirrored pieces, and they did not inform me that they wanted mirrored pieces. I also just realized that that seam allowance does need to be fixed on the front, with the front, not the back, because the back gets sewn separately. Okay. Okay, skip. So, but yes, we are. I've got Otafest, which is the Japanese, the anime festival in Calgary this weekend, and I have Omatsuri in July. So realistically, and actually, Kimono Festival as well. Someone's gonna take a few of my bags for like a little mini consignment shop. So a bunch of Japanese related events very rapidly here. So working on this stuff right now. See what kind of works. Some of it is not working right now. And then we'll decide what we're going to keep and what we're going to not keep. We're definitely keeping the wedge shaped bag. That's more of just a just making sure I have some available for this week, that sort of thing. This one's just fighting because it's like the upper seam allowance is not working. It's kind of like, ugh. Okay, and then I do have to redo the seam allowance on the exterior here so that it is correct. It's quite a deep seam allowance, which is good. It's a bag, and it's going to be under a lot of stress on these corners because this is like the main seam for the sides. And then I got to figure out if they want it to be top stitched or not. I think they do want it top stitched as well. There we go. That's better. Thank you. I have put a lot of time and effort into making sure that that booth is, well, okay. Number one priority that I try to be conscious of is accessibility. So like actually being able to get into it with like strollers or wheelchairs, etc. Because I was a mom in a double stroller for a very long time, and I figure if my double stroller can't fit into stuff, there's no way in hell that a wheelchair will fit there either. And so I always try to be very conscious of that. And so far, so good. There has never been an issue. And then obviously trying to display everything nicely is always key as well. So 2 factors. Okay, we're gonna shove this zipper pull back into the bag here. And that means thank you also for watching that video then. I appreciate that. It's always good to hear from people afterwards that they enjoyed it, or enjoyed seeing it. So, what are you stuck? Oh, you're stuck on actual thread. Okay, good. Not a flaw in the construction, just a thread that is in the way. There we go. Okay, and then I think this is they call for top stitching down this the side of it here. Yeah, the Otafest booth is the smallest that I'll go to right now, which is 10 by 10. And I have a pretty good way to set it up, but I don't like it as much. But I also didn't want to commit the money to a 10 by 20 this year, which is probably a good idea. So it's always a balance. But like with Knit City and stuff like that, I don't go below 20 anymore. And with most shows, I don't go below 20 anymore because it's too much stuff in too small space, and then like people are already overwhelmed and then typically get even more overwhelmed. Oh, because they still match. Fill this gap, align all layers evenly. Okay. Now stitch each section of the X closed, sewing as you will have a small gap on the lining and main fabric where the zipper is located. Oh. I think what's supposed to happen is there's supposed to be a little bit more fabric right here. We're going to ignore this for now. Yeah, and I do know that I sometimes do overwhelm people. Okay, yeah, these are supposed to be like marked with a little trim line, and you're supposed to like, okay, we're gonna fudge this one. At least these side panels are sewn on correctly. It might not be exactly how these will come together in the future, but it'll be close enough. It'll still be a bum bag, or whatever the hell we want to call it. I think they call it a belt bag. But yeah, no, I try. Some days it goes better than others, right? So, okay. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to stitch across the zipper so that all the layers are stitched together. Same as what we do with the small box bag, so there is no gapping. I love that they include that instruction in the pattern. But yeah, looking at this, I think what is supposed to happen is we're supposed to have a little bit more fabric, just kind of wandering around right here, and you like ease the top into the bag itself. So I do have an extra like 1/2 inch up here, and I think that's what needs to be swapped out next time, but that's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, back to the tutorial here. Tutorial. Okay, it wants me to sew the webbing straps to the front panel. Oh, okay, so these go in just like this. No, well, not like that. D-ring in, Katie. La 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 la. So, again, they call for 1.5 inch hardware and webbing. I do actually have some of the hardware, like the D-rings, but I don't. That was part of why I didn't want to invest in the webbing. Is that I didn't want to have to invest in a bunch of new hardware. So we're going with a 1 inch, which is a comfortable like size anyway. I actually find it more comfortable than the even 1 1/4, definitely 1.5. So we're just gonna go with this. Okay, so it wants me to like tack everything down here, and then roll the strap up so that like you're all good. And then we're gonna sew the front to the back, and then we need to sew the lining to the lining. Okay. Honestly, if I didn't have that flub with the cut, this would already be done, and it's quite a fast bag. Well, we've been an hour, and I've already gotten both the... Yeah, we're good. So I think what we'll do then is tomorrow morning I'll come back on, and we'll be cutting... I'll cut a few more... Okay, let's line these up. Cut a few more obi for wedge bags. I do really want to get some of the mini traveler slings done. It's a draw. Actually, if it's a 1/2 inch seam allowance, that needs to be further down. So we're going to put it at the 3/4 mark on this. Yeah, because it's actually showing that it lines up. Oh, it lines up with the like. That's fine. It's not the same size, so I'm not going to worry about it as much, because that would be an extra 1/2 inch right there, right? So we'll put it a 1/2 inch above the little side shimmy that happens here. There we go. That's how we'll do it. Which pretty much lines it up nicely with the zipper as well. Okay, there we go. And then it does ask to have this basted down, which I agree with. Let's do it. Let's do it. Just baste it down. Not even gonna back stitch it. Just gonna stitch it in. So it was down, for me personally, it was down 30%. But with it being the like day before the election, I think everyone, no matter where you are on the political spectrum, was holding their breath. So I don't know. And it's just retail, and honestly, I am not providing a need. I am providing a want. Kind of sucks because it's like, whatever. Yeah, we're good. It's all good. It is what it is. It's retail. And yeah, like it's not like you need a bag for your yarn. They did say that the numbers were down a little bit too, but yeah, like I said, when we were obviously starting all of this planning, there was no election on the forecast. And then to have the election like the next day, it could have gone both ways. They could have either like had retail therapy, or they could have gone the way they did, which was not buying as much. But all that being said, the other portion of this is that Dallas's dad actually has, so my husband has like really old family friends up in Dawson Creek. And so like one of the main reasons to actually go up is to visit them, like whatever, on the actual like the Fibre Fest is just a good good reason to go up and right off the trip. An extremely good reason to go right off the trip. And I still made money. Don't get me wrong. You guys came out and you supported me extremely well, and I appreciate it. And y'all like still made it worth the trip, and we'll definitely be back up next year. If anyone's watching this and like misconstruing it. So it is very far up north. Oh my God, that drive is something else. And then we ran out of fuel like 2 kilometers outside our gas station at Grand Prairie. Okay, so like the back lines up with, I don't know what's going on. Okay, stitch the sides and curved edge only, leaving the top edge open for now. Okay. What? Okay. Oh, okay. And then you sew everything together along the top. Okay. Okay, so the edges and the sides, and we go at a nice generous seam allowance, and I'm going to go back and forth along that webbing. Okay, I like this construction so far. Outside of that needs to be mirrored. So I'm going to make a note on the pattern piece that oh, that is not the correct seam allowance. Okay, let's back stitch and get that to the correct seam allowance. Anyway, I'll make a note on that pattern piece that it needs to be mirrored, not the same. Cut. I don't know why the white fabric was, like the Obi kimono fabric was fine. But I bet you what I did is oh, that's too far over. I bet you I had it on the fold, so we'll just make a note of like, cut them on the fold, mirror them, whatever. However, I think it's going to work for my brain to remember that they need to be mirrored. Okay. Actually, it looks pretty good all around. I'm going to run a little bit extra stitching there just to smooth that edge very high. Oh, did I? Oh, shit. The lining is supposed to be bent out of the way so it doesn't get sewn, because it gets sewn in the next step. Fuck. So if you ever wonder why makers don't instantly jump on some projects, this is part of the reason why. Is because can be a very steep, maybe not learning curve, but learning curve is probably the best description for it. Oh my God. So, so far we have seam ripped all the other mistakes. So let's just seam rip this. And then I want to try out the little Obi snap up tray as well. Thank God I didn't, oh shit, never mind. It's like, thank God I didn't like backstitch anything here. And as I have like 2 lines of stitches right here. And this is the shitty seam rippers as well. Okay, let's see if I can find, sorry if that tapped loud. I think there is, yes, there's a good seam ripper right here. Okay, if you're looking for a good seam ripper, this is it. It's the Loops and Threads seam ripper from Michaels. I don't know why it's so good, but it is very, very good. Yeah, my favorite seam ripper. The other ones are cheap ones from Bacana, and they aren't very good. Also, if you have been around for the infamous zipper debacle, I ordered zippers in December. They showed up today. Now, some of this was that there was supply issues with the paint, and they had just gone to a new system, so they were still figuring out a new system of like ordering and shit. Which, okay, whatever. My biggest annoyance with it was that they didn't contact me about it. So I was just like sitting around waiting for zippers for, well, okay, I kept pestering them because I was like, well, I need these, like, they're black zipper pulls. I was able to work around it, thankfully, but can you imagine if I only used black zippers? I would have been fucked. And even at this point, it's like, well, I probably would have sold more bags if I had had some of these black zippers. Anyway, they came today. Have another 200 meters to cord reel onto a, like, cord reel. But that is a task when Dallas is home. It is a 2-person job to, like, reel it onto these cord reels because it gets wrapped up on itself. But we'll also be doing it at the very beginning, which will be good because before they would turn into spaghetti monsters and be very unpleasant to reel. And just work with in general, so. Okay. The other tip and trick was always to put the, if you haven't heard this, is put the red ball under the stitches. The little pointy bit above, because it's supposed to help you not cut your fabrics. Is it 100% accurate that it will not? No. Does it help? Yeah, it seems to. I always thought you were just supposed to go along and like pick them out individually before this. So I've also heard that razor blades are really good. I don't really want razor blades around my kids. So good old seam ripper it is. Because we all know if you're a person who sews, your seam ripper is your best friend. Outside your sewing machine and maybe your rotary cutter. Those are my actual best friends. I guess, okay, the seam ripper is your best frenemy. You never want to see them. But when you need them, my God, are you ever happy to see them? Oh, man. My energy just went, you should be going to bed. And I agree. But I really want to finish this bag at least. So we're going to try to get this one done at the very least. And we'll go on to all the other fun bags after this, which are like the Sheena and the, all of those. The Kato that I made from the Obi are still available. So if you had those, your eye on those before the show, let me know. Yeah, they'll also be available at Otafest. So who knows, they might sell there. Hopefully they do. That would be good. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. Nope, not quite. Almost, though. Like, what's falling out on my lap? Oh, my God. But it's the webbing. Okay, this should be a little bit easier around here now. There we go. There we go. Right, so clip or pin the lining out of the way, Katie, because this is dumb. Should have thought of that. But I didn't. Oh, well. Yay. Okay, now we're just going to, like, throw this back underneath. And actually, this means that I can actually fit the, or fix the seam-ons, which is good. And nice. And look at us go and be responsible makers and not put it into timeout. The very first one is going into timeout because seam ripping it has been a nightmare. It's really cute though, so I do still want it. Come on. Like, seriously. Okay, there we go. Yay! We fixed it. Alright, now we sew the interior to the interior, and then once we have that, apparently we sew all these layers together. So before the event, looking at how that little wedge bag came out, we'll do some more of the wedge bags because they also come together very quickly, which is nice. So like between like cutting and sewing them, I'll be able to get a few of them done tomorrow. I'm gonna try, if this comes together well tonight, we'll try and get some of these done tomorrow. Because I think belt bags are still pretty popular. At least from my understanding, they're still pretty popular. What else? Oh, trays. I want to get some of the little fold-up trays done. I can actually show you the little tray because it's fucking adorable. So this one is like perma-folded or perma-sewn. So it's just always going to be like this. But the idea is I'm going to put little snaps on these corners and then it'll fold flat. This is the first cotton one. I did mess up the snaps on this, so we're not, I'll have to like seconds it. But then you can like snap it up like this, and then when you're traveling with, like, if you're traveling with it, it can just fold flat. So it'll also make it cheaper to ship. Anyway, this snap is messed up because I had the wrong dye in. This one is also, I'm not happy with it anyway because it's too floopy. Whereas one that I just made with like a little bit of foam in it has a lot better body. So this one's going to get the snaps. They'll just snap up and then it'll be this nice little like tray. Yeah, the bunnies are, it's super adorable. It will have to go into the seconds because of the snap though, because it got crunched. Or I'll have to get the snap removal tool. Anyway, these just super simple, super straightforward. And yeah, like the little obi and everything like that looks adorable. But I do like it better with the snaps because I don't like seeing this all the time. And then you'll actually be able to see all the fabric too. But this one will also be available because, hi, it's still cute. Just not what I'm looking to produce. There we go. That's the best description. Okay, so all the layers together. No, next line, the top edge is the lining. And yeah, okay. Next repeat for the lining front and back. This time, leave an opening. Okay, so we leave an opening at the bottom of this one because we're going to turn through the opening of the lining. So, anyway, that's the hope. And then after Otafest, or whatever's left after Otafest prep, and then we're going to go in and do some of the Sheena bags, which are a crescent hobo bag. And probably some Glenda. I don't know if I'm too sold on the Kato as with Obi. They're gorgeous, but I think they still work better as handbags. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. This summer's going to be busy. So, busy. Yeah, Glenda for sure. I really like how the Glenda come together. And it's also a really good use of a vertical print. So yeah, watch for that. That will not be tomorrow. We are not doing them this like before Otafest. I do not have the time. But definitely for Omatsuri. And because I don't think I have any Glenda, or if I do, there's like one left right now. So I do. It needs a new strap. I think I might swap it out to a cotton strap because it'll make it the price more accessible. It is absolutely spectacular, and that's all it's waiting on. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow because then I would. Yes, we will do that tomorrow because it's stupid not to. Right? So finish. If I just sew a strap, instant product. So I think we will do that tomorrow. That makes sense. Should make a list. I was going to think about doing the little square box bags for like some little handbaggy things, but just, yeah, this last 3 weeks has been like busy. I honestly, foolishly thought there would be more time. Like I knew we were going to be busy with birthdays, but it feels like we were just running for 3 weeks. And Dolls is like, yeah, that's what I planned. I'm like, oh, okay. I like I was mentioned, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I was like, I want just a day to like sleep in and watch anime. We did finish our anime that we were watching. We did finish that yesterday because I'm just like, it's raining. Oh shit, I didn't leave an opening at the bottom. Just episode. It's easy enough to fix, at least. Yeah, but because I was like, honestly, it poured rain when I would have been running outside. I'm just like, nope. And I did a pace run outside on Sunday, on Mother's Day. And I was like, you know what? Doing 12 miles on a treadmill is horrendous. But also, I don't want to have to deal with, like, dealing with the weather. So I ran 12 miles on the treadmill. So by the power of Barbie and the beginning of fried green tomatoes, which I forgot how sad the start of that movie is, I got 12 miles done. We finished up free ren, which I'm half and half about. I don't know if I like it, which is terrible. But it's apparently really popular, and I'm just like, okay. I don't know. Dallas said that it, like, unseated Brotherhood, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I'm like, I don't see how. It's like, well, the character growth, and I'm like, Brotherhood has amazing character growth too. I don't know. I like my action, I guess. This one's good. We'll watch the next season, and then, but it was such a slow start. It's like, because he was like, well, we got to watch till, like, apparently it gets better after episode 7. And I'm like, it's a 28 episode series. Yes, there's going to be a sequel, but my God, taking 7 episodes to ramp up. I'm not a slow burn person. Anyway, it did get better after episode, like, in episode 8, I think. But normally, because there's so much, like, so much anime. It's usually like when we're judging our new anime, we only watch 2 episodes, and if it's not good by that point, you like move on, because then you can continue to try new stuff. But yeah, I guess so okay, go for the slowness, go for it all, go for the emotional development. I get it, but like I don't know. I don't know. At least it wasn't like as existential as I was very worried it was going to be. I've been seeing Apothecary Diaries pop up on my, I think it's Netflix suggestions. We watched Free Ren on Crunchyroll because the subtitles were better placed actually. But yeah, I don't know. We'll watch the next season. I'm not offended by it. Would I recommend it? No. I think that's where I'm at. I'm not offended by it. It was perfectly fine. It's definitely better than some of the stuff I've watched. Am I excited to watch it again? No. But we'll finish it. I did like the fact that it was very non-sexual. Like, neither Fern nor Free Ren are sexualized. And it's like, I do really appreciate that, especially in this genre. So yeah, there is that. I do appreciate that. I think that they are very dynamic characters. I don't like saying that they're strong female characters. Dynamic, though. And I do appreciate that as well. And they're pretty kick-ass. But that was the thing. It's like, I was just thinking about the fight scenes, and I'm like, Demon Slayer is one of my favorite, most recent, like, more recent animes. And I'm just thinking, like, comparing okay, for anyone who hasn't watched Free Ren, and you do not want spoilers, close your ears. I will wave at you again when we're done. Like this, very wildly. It'll be very obvious. Anyway, going into spoilers. Spoiler alert. Okay, if you're still here, then you want spoilers. Anyway, I'm just thinking of that fight scene at the end of Free Ren, where it's like, and I compared it to that fight scene that they have in Demon Slayer, where he like figures out the breath for the fire and the water and everything like that, and the actual chills that gave me compared to like this battle with Free Ren at the end of Free Ren in the dungeon was fucking epic. And it just kind of I don't know. It did not hit the right notes for me. Again, not mad at it. Do I think it beats Brotherhood? No. Not for me, at least. I guess. There we go. I have zero patience for... Well, okay. If fan service is done correctly, I can totally get behind it. I do not have patience for panty shots anymore. I guess. That might be the better description. Like, we watched, Jobless Reincarnation or whatever it is. Meishoku Tensei. And, like, really good premise, really good everything, but it was just so cringe worthy with its, like, fucking, like, gratuitous, like, fan service. Anyway, it was not good. Yeah, there we go. She's cute. Okay. And actually, yeah, I figured out all that excess seam allowance up here very easily. I like where the like label gets to get placed. This obi is not in the best condition necessarily, but it's telling a story, so that's what I'm going with. Oh my god, I just realized that Segai Ha basically got centered. Well, that makes sense, Katie. Fuck. I'm tired. Oh, it's centered because I actually centered it. Anyway, and the 1 inch actually works really well up here because we did end up having to take the, oh my god, to take the half inch of seam allowance off the top. So actually, if we used an inch and a half stuff and webbing, we wouldn't have had the space for it. Yeah, that's cute. I like that better than the one that I made last year from, it was super cute too. It was the Harrelson belt bag, but I think I like this better. It's still very flat. You could still very much use it as a like lean in, Katie, as a like crossbody kind of thing, or you could like yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. It looks good. I like it. I think that this is going to be good. Yeah, okay, I can agree with that. I think so. Here's the thing that I always approach this with too, with that one, is that with Brotherhood, if you were coming into it having never watched Full Metal, you're kind of fucked. Because it's like, because the other thing I would say is that, again, oh, right, no more spoilers for Free Ren, but now spoilers for Brotherhood. I don't feel as bad about that one, though, because it's been 15 years. There was a lot more emotion around the colonel that died. I can't fuck if I remember his name, obviously, and the Chimera. And I do think that those both were not dealt with as well in Brotherhood. However, the ending of Brotherhood is so epic that it, like, that's where I'm at. I also really enjoyed the ending of Inuyasha. I'm very glad that they waited to like finish Inuyasha, because that was of that whole era, obviously right around the time of redoing Full Metal and everything like that. My god. So, because actually Inuyasha was finished. Well, Full Metal Alchemist was also finishing up when I was on exchange, but Inuyasha was the one that was airing. So the Full Metal manga was finishing up when I was in Japan. The Inuyasha anime was finishing up when I was in Japan. There we go. To honor Inuyasha. Oh god, my gateway was Sailor Moon. Surprise, for my age, my decrepit age. Not really. Stupid part of this is it's like I still feel 10 years younger than I actually am. This is going to need some interfacing. That's too floppy. Anyway, I'm going to so we'll make another tray from that. But yeah, it does need some more interfacing. So the child is not awake yet. Basically, we're here until on my child's whim until they wake up. So, what time? Or midnight. Yeah, that's fair. I got introduced by a cousin when I was younger, and so that's how I got into. How it all started. Because then it was like, so it ended up being Sailor Moon, and then right around the same time Pokemon, and then Digimon, Escaflowne. Yeah, Pokemon's probably like what my brother remembers the most. Digimon. I actually put Pokemon on for my kiddos the other day because I was like, hey, you're starting to get old enough for this. Terrible idea. It's actually really scary in that first few episodes, and I did not remember that it was scary in the first few episodes. And my eldest is quite sensitive to that sort of thing. And it's like Pikachu's like almost dying, and like they're getting chased by giant bee drills, and I'm like, oh no. I can understand why you would be scared by this. I forgot that this happened. Like super high stakes in the first like 3 episodes. Yeah, I had Sailor Moon tapes. I do actually own all of Inuyasha on DVD because that's the time period that is from for me. Yeah. Okay. So I think what I'm going to try and get to is maybe we'll try and get the back pockets for these minis done. And actually, yeah, that would be a good stopping point, is getting at least the zippers in. And then we can, and then basically it'll just be a smash together tomorrow. Well, almost. Because a couple steps forward. Okay, those welt pockets are actually really good. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we ever finished. I was like, Yashahime, what the fuck is that? I don't think we ever actually finished that. I forgot that even existed. Oh yeah, no, that's impressive actually. All right. I did hear that they're redoing Ranma 1 too, which I never actually watched in its original form. So I'm actually pretty excited for that. I like Takahashi's work though, so. What was the other gateway one? Escaflowne. I'm still mad. Still going. How? Holy shit. Yeah, I haven't done Ranma, but I will do that one once it starts getting released, whenever it gets released. Escaflowne. I'm still mad about the end of Escaflowne. I need to rewatch it. Still mad about the end of Bebop. Was watching that one. In my dorm room in Japan at 2 a.m. when that finale happened, and I was just like, oh my god. Swollen eyes, tears, everything. Snot. Disgusting. Oh, now I do think that I taped these zippers, but I think the tape fell off. Escaflowne is really good, but dude, it's a super typical Japanese ending. Although I think I do have a different view of it now versus when I was a kid. But my god, did that ending piss me off as a kid. Of course, there's also the like 4Kids dub on Fox TV. Like, how else do you access like frickin' anime sort of thing, right? So what's the other? Oh, Shaman King was really good, but I don't know if I would view it the same way now as I did then either, or if I'd view it a lot more in the gaze of, holy shit, you've appropriated so much stuff. I think probably a bit of both, but I do remember it being very good. Yeah, so the only thing I find with Inuyasha personally, again, I haven't watched it in a little while, but it will be one of the ones I rewatch with the kids. This needs to be repressed, so I'm just going to walk over to the press. Is that it is very much, it is a bit tedious, I guess, might be the best wording for that, in that it's just like, all right, let's go power up this sword over and over and over again. So I feel like that could have been done a little bit better. It's very much of its time too. So I think that's part of it. There is definitely some not beer goggles, but nostalgia goggles. I can understand Kikyo better. I still hate her. And I still kind of think I like Kagome, but I feel like she is still a little bit of a pushover. But I don't think she had much choice either. It's complicated. That one's complicated. But yeah, I can understand Kikyo, but nah. Also, Inuyasha is kind of a dipshit when you really look at it, but oh well. Complex characters, oh my god. Still remember reading the manga on, because of course we were of the era of like scanlations were fine as long as you weren't reading them in Japan, because of course you didn't have access to everything outside Japan. At least that was the official kind of thought process on it. I think even the Japanese government was like, okay, whatever. It's mostly like, it's kind of like it is now. It's like, hey, if you can do it, buy this from the author and or from the company. But yeah, I definitely remember reading it on like a scanlation site, doggears.net or something like that. I wonder if it still exists. I don't even know. It's insane how our access to like manga and stuff like that has changed. Even since I was in Japan. I keep going to Japan though, and they keep re-releasing Sailor Moon with special like editions and everything like that. I'm like, I don't need more Sailor Moon. I really, really don't need more Sailor Moon. But they're so pretty. They did like a bigger like trade paperback version of it recently, and I'm like, damn it, stop. Oh, and I really enjoyed the Tsubasa manga. Did not enjoy the anime as much, but that manga went really good. Really enjoyed that one. Anyway, I think next on our list, I definitely, like, especially before going to Japan next year, I know Dallas wants to wrap up on whatever is available of Spy X Family, which I agree with, because when I was there in 23, it was like super popular. Yeah, super niche. There's like one Indigo in Calgary that sold more manga than any of the other ones. It's wild. And I do remember, yeah, buying, like, we went for a trip down to the States, and so I bought a shit ton of Inuyasha. I'm in a really, like, hard on a rock place right now with Inuyasha, because I never finished the series in the flipped edition. So, and now they're releasing it all in, like, the omnibuses in unflipped. And I'm like, well, shit. what do I buy? Because I don't want to, like, buy a bunch of manga I already have, but I want them all to match. Need to find someone's old collection and just buy a collection off them, maybe. Okay, this is dried out. So, okay. So there's the answer about the zippers. I gotta retape them. I know. Yeah. The judgment thrown at me by my parents was ridiculous. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Shut the door. Okay, so where's the 3, 4 zippers, though? That's all that matters, really. Okay. 3. And 4. Black gold, black gold, black gold. Now, the crazy thing that I always think about is it's like, all right, who would have ever thought that Sailor Moon would lead to this? Like, insanity. I actually just found photos. Or, well, okay, Facebook reminded me that I made one of my first box bags. Actually, no, I made the first box bag for myself. Obviously, I wasn't thinking of making this a job yet. In 2013. Like, yesterday. That's like, holy shit. Okay, I do not see any extra zipper for this guy. Oh, is it in here, maybe? Oh, the return is always the worst. Because it's like all my little bits and pieces have all like shuffled in the shimmy shake of having to like make stuff on the fly. Shoot. Pokemon. That's the one we got. And then Mom cried at an anime, and she's like, "Why is it making me feel things?" And it's like, why do you feel anything about like soap operas? It's a show. It's here to evoke emotion. Anyway, I digress. Let's try and find this other zipper, because apparently the zipper disappeared. Bye, zippers. I shouldn't have gone far though, because it's like this is stuff that we were just working on. Okay, these are all little short zippers, which makes sense. Those are drawstrings for Kato, which we're not working on before Otafest. We'll continue to work on Kato over the summer for Knit City, because I have a feeling they're going to be super popular. These ones are not. These are just AliExpress, direct from China. The ones that go into the smaller, so these are number 5 zippers going into these. And I find that the best nylon coil selection is actually from China directly, so that's why I buy them direct from China. Plus I get air miles for buying direct from them instead. But the number 3 zippers that I use for the zip bags, the other zip bags, are all YKK, because I do find that they are the best quality for number 3 zippers. Oh, there it is. Haha, nope. Yeah, whatever, I'll just cut it down. No, because this is cut down for freaking... That's cut for the zip and grip, which we are not getting to today. But there does seem to be, maybe there's a spare one here. I just don't want to have to get up and like, I'm being lazy. That one will work, I think. Okay. They are the best ones, to be honest. And, yeah. Okay. That is even the right length, and it's the gold. But yeah, these ones are, I don't know, meaty or something like that. They're good. They're a good quality zipper. They don't, basically what my judgment call is whether they curl when I iron them. And so far they have not. Or like they don't, it doesn't impede the use of them. Whereas I've had the other zippers coil on me, so. But I know other makers who don't like YKK. I know. I don't get it. Plus they're Japanese, so hi. How could I not? However, they are the ones who just took 6 months to send me zippers as well. And I'm sure it would have taken longer if I didn't keep pestering them. It's just like, my God, you guys, get me my fucking zippers. I just want my zippers, please. Anyway, they came in today. I have them. I know. Well, they're like one of the best known brands of zipper. Okay, actually, the one other thing I'm going to do to prep right now is I am going to finally prep this little wedge bag that I've been talking about prepping for like a month. So let's sew it. We will not be finishing it right now because I have to top stitch it with black, blah, 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 blah. But we can at least sew the canvas to the bottom here. And honestly, we could sew and top stitch the zipper in as well. So this is going to be part of the new upgraded small wedge bag. People keep asking for small wedge bags, so what I'm going to do is bring back a canvas small wedge bag. I am not bringing back the large wedge bag. It doesn't fill a gap anymore. I feel like the Kato is a better filler there. But the small wedge bag is very straightforward and very easy, and just a nice easy bag too. So yeah, so then what we'll do is we'll go in. Oh man, that really changed the look of it. Holy shit. All right then. Okay. Oh, there we go. That part's done. Don't need to do anything else on it. It's just that the pieces were there, and I'm like, you know what? Let's actually like sew this in. No, we don't. I don't have wedge bags right now. They're an old style that I discontinued in favor of the knot bag, but now the knot bag is like dropped off in popularity too. So I'm gonna alternate probably between the two. I know there's people on both sides that like both of them, or like one or the other. But I have had a lot of requests to bring back the small wedge bag. So I'm going to bring back the small wedge bag for a little bit. But I didn't want to bring it back like it was before. It did need some changes, so here we are. That's what we're doing. We're changing it. So, okay, so I did find all the little D-ring doohickeys for the mini travelers over here. And then I have apparently misplaced some of my tape, which oh no, we finished one up. So this is the, nope. I have misplaced one of my tapes, but oh well, whatever, we'll find it later. Hopefully sooner rather than later is all, because the tapes do tend to dry up. Okay, yeah, no, you won't find them on the website right now because I haven't made them in a while. But I do want to go back to making some of them. They're like, again, they're really fast, so they were popular. So, but that's partly what that wedge purse is based on as well from the beginning. The green gold obi. Okay, turn you off because apparently you don't want to be. Okay, what is going on here? Ah. Oh, it's broken. Okay, the paper just broke. No big deal, just annoying. All right. Just around there. This one's really sticky, so that's kind of nice. Okay. Black gold. Cute. The nice thing is I do actually order from, sorry, I'm just back on zippers now. Sorry, not sorry. I do order direct from YKK because you get the wholesale pricing and everything like that. The continuous zipper is a lot less wasteful. For tote bags, it's extremely easy, which is nice. And it'll be easy actually for the wedge bags now that I think of it, because we can just like sew both sides basically on one continuous line of zipper. Very nice. All that jazz. And then I actually get I get zipper pulls that are a little bit different, that they're what I think is a little bit more accessible, hopefully, rather than the thin little like cylinder ones. They're these like, they have more of like the donut end. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is it's a lot easier to grip that versus the thin little like triangle heads that are typically on the YKK zipper, at least that I've been using previously. So now that's not going to cascade across all zippers that I use, because it's still easier to use closed end zippers for shorter lengths for me. But for the big bags and the tote bags and the blah 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 bags that use the number 3 zippers, that's what we're doing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We are going to cut that a little bit shorter, right? It's a lot wider, and it's like the finger kind of almost goes into it, like the finger pad. So it's like, yeah, in my head, it's just easier to grip. It's easier for me to grip. So I would imagine someone who has a little bit less dexterity in their fingers, it should also hopefully be easier to grip. So that's the thought process there. So even for all the pain, the 6-month wait for zip pulls, it's mostly worth it. So I think I'm also just talking out my ass because I do still have most of my dexterity as far as I can tell. I say as I fumble with my tape. 4. I did not while I had hand, foot, and mouth. I should have actually tested them out then, but I didn't know how contagious it was. Like, I was like, does it stick around, like on fabrics and stuff, or like, does it not? I have to, because if you guys don't buy bags, I don't get to do what I do, and I love what I do. Do I take all stuff into consideration. No, because I can't please everyone. But I do try to think of some things where hopefully it's maybe a little bit less commonly thought of, I guess. Okay, there's the tape done. I also really do like these zip pulls because they are yeah, sometimes they do. It depends on how well the bag is made. So typically you wouldn't have an issue with it anyway on my bags because the zipper, like the zip is so far away from the fabric that I top stitch it away. The royal we, me, myself, and I, top stitch it away from the zipper. So there's a couple factors in why sometimes these little zippers hurt. And part of it is because the bag's just not made well. Because you get caught on the fabric and stuff like that. And part of it is they just are little shitty bastards sometimes. And they, yeah. Cranky little things. That doesn't mean that these new ones are perfect, but I haven't had as many issues, so. Totally forgot. Okay, so one of the other things is if you're working with double-sided tape, break the paper on the tape before you put it on the thing, because honestly, it makes it so much easier to lift the paper. I hate trying to lift it from the ends because I find that I peel it up. So I try to remember to break the paper before I put them on the zip. Does that work all the time? Obviously not. That one's actually staggered enough that I'll be able to get it. Right, exactly. It's also why I'm starting to like bring in stuff that isn't zipper closure too. Oh fuck, Katie, you literally were just talking about breaking the paper, and you break your own rule. Oh well, at least I fixed it. God. So we got all our smutty book club reads figured out for the summer. So we're doing a Fate Inked in Blood and a Curse Carved in Bone. Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. She's actually a Calgary local author, which is super cool. That's June. July, if you want to do a read along with us. Yeah, right. Do as I say, not as I do. The paper's really hard to break on this one, apparently. Yeah, what is it? So June. July is Something Wilder by Christina Lauren, Something Wilder. It's a ranch mystery treasure hunt, maybe murder. We're not sure. I have read it before. I really like it. I like anything pretty much by Christina Lauren, though. It's just like it's a duo, and they're just so enjoyable to read. Floofy. And then in August, we're going to go Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which I've also read everything I've read by her, they and them. Everything I read by them. I think they use she, her, but whatever. Everything I've read by them, I really enjoy. So, yeah, it's good. And then I don't know what we're doing after that. We decided the next few months, and then we're like, okay, we'll decide the few months after that. Zippers. At least I know how to do these almost in my sleep. Okay, this is for later steps. I don't know. Well, I know why I put them up there, but I don't know why I put them up there. Alright, we need the corgis. The corgis are the zipper that's sitting here, so we're going to do corgis. Because look at those cute corgi butts. Corgi. Okay, that one goes with the owlies. The scowly owlies. Get the blue... Nope. It's the strawberries. I get this one. Okay, strawberries with the black and silver zipper. Cool. And then we get the cat's whiskers on olive with a black and gold zipper. And then we get... There's too much fabric going on. Wait, what? Where's the other blue? Oh, fuck me. Because that is... Oh, that's... Oh, never mind. It's under here. Ugh. Brains. I guess it's almost midnight. It makes sense why my brains are gone. You don't get the blue gold zipper. That's the Scally Owlies. Okay. Are you stitched? You're stitched. Good. Okay. I do also, in future, want to do more mini... Okay. Big old truck going up the hill. I do want to do more upcycled, like, minis with the front as obi as well. It is a little bit harder to find fabrics that are, like, size appropriate for that. But we'll find them. I'll find them. I'm not worried. Just, that's why there's been fewer of them. I do have one, and I have two more cuts, so we'll get there. I just need to be... As much as I'm complaining that it feels like we're mostly just running for all of May, basically, or like this like last little portion in Dallas's vacation, and I didn't work, I do think I was a little bit burnt out. Thinking about it, I'm like, honestly, last year it took me a good month to recover after Knit City, and the year before that as well. So I think that is part of it too, is that I was just like, ugh. So it's just that it ended up falling at a terrible time because of Otafest. That like, well, so I like giving everyone as much pattern as I can. So like with these guys, certain patterns aren't going to work as well just because they're so large format. But I have some that would work, because like I don't know if that, like, this one that we just did for the belt bag and the wedge bag would necessarily work in the smaller format. I don't know, though. That's the only way to do it. Well, what I would do is I would take the template that I have and, like, place it over top and figure it out. I'm not cutting more minis right now. That's why I'm talking in hypotheticals right now. Future talk. But yeah, I'm not gonna put something on where you're only gonna get half a cream or something stupid like that, because that's not cool. It's like a tease. And boring. So no, we're not gonna do that. If it's a larger pattern, the Traveler Sling is like way better suited to that sort of thing. So okay, there's the strawberry one taped in, hopefully, or at least placed. But like stuff that's an all over pattern, so probably that brocade one will look really good as a mini. What else was it? I've got one here that's like a bunch of pine boughs and stuff like that. I keep looking back at it. It's like pine boughs, and I think it's got palanquin and stuff like that. Very all over, like full patterns. That means I don't feel bad cutting it up for this. It's got it's got like a bunch of florals, pavilion, the I don't know what it's called. It's not a rickshaw, but like the cart. Yeah, go for it. We are going to take anything that I ascribed those things and take it with a grain of salt, please, because I don't know if I'm going to go back and watch it, or if we're just going to go through and decide what everything's going to become. Again, I just won't record it. Anyway, but yeah, especially because I have actually found a couple new patterns that might work better. So like things that I was like, oh, this would be cool Sheena, but like the Sheena pattern's too large. I found a new crescent bag for that from Can Do that might do really well for that. So take a look at it and be like, ooh, but definitely take the actual pattern decisions with a grain of salt, because I don't think we're going to follow it very well anymore. Whatever, it's all good. It'll be fine. Better to use it than to like just be like, I think a good goal. So the goal before Japan next year, because I do still have a significant amount of fabric. I probably have another show push left right now, which is good. Now that is not taking into account anything I cut over the summer for Knit City. However, I still have massive piles here of bags that I still have to finish. So there's that. But a goal for Knit City is that we're going to go through and we're going to cut a bag from every single fabric and have a bag from every single fabric. I'm going to make it up over the summer, or at least before we leave for Japan next year, because part of it is that it is super cute. I think it would be good for a lot of these and some of the cottons and stuff like that too. And honestly, that with a like waxed canvas exterior and then a Japanese fabric interior, like I keep talking about, would be fucking amazing. A little bit more subtle, but still the fun interior, all that jazz. Anyway, yeah, I do want to have something have been made up from each fabric before I go. Now that, I guess that doesn't necessarily have to happen before Knit City, because, hi, Knit City is, what is it? May 13th. 4.5 months. You're like, Katie, that's lots of time. I know, it sounds like lots of time, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Like realistically, what I should be doing at this point is we're gonna obviously be working on a lot of the cuts that we did already. But basically after Otafest, I will wrap up on custom orders, and then I will and doing some like test work to get some new products in, because I want to get the zip and grip figured. And I want to get the little embroidery case done because it'll pair well with the grime guards. And I still think that's super important. Diversify my market. So like a few things like that. And a few of the the stuff I keep talking about needs to get done too. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. The bunny fabric would be cute in the crescent, but I don't know if I have enough of it left. I do take custom order. Within reason. I don't typically like doing like brand new things for custom orders. But what I will do is I will take something that I currently have and modify it. Or what I'll do is I'll take pre-orders for existing patterns and just make it in the fabric you want if it doesn't exist yet. That one's my favorite, but it does take up a lot of time still. I'm thinking that might be something that I open up before we go to Japan, just to help move some fabric out. And because I don't have Creekside in January anymore, it's actually quite nice to do that kind of push instead. So that's exactly it. I've had people order modifications of bags, mostly in size, or like, hey, take a tote bag and add pockets, please. I've had people order a taller kato, which was super cool. It actually looked really fucking good. I just have people request like different bags with different color zippers. Just like, send me a message and I will let you know if that's something that I have the ability or time to do currently, basically. If you are looking for a custom order, now is the time to be chatting about it, because I will be going into custom order for June, plus the new stuff, because I've got Wendy, who's normally here from Australia. She's got 2 kato on order right now. Never know if it's kato or kato. Kato is definitely like the more Japanese pronunciation, so that's what we're going with. But I've heard it both ways, so I don't know. She's Irish, so. But yeah, that's kind of ends up being what happens. It all really just depends on what you're looking for. If you see an obi on that video and you're like, fuck yeah, like 100% I will do custom order of whatever one you want from there. So if you're like, there is a fabric that you really want a Glenda in, that's what I would suggest doing, because then it'll also push me to do the Glenda. Not that the Glendas are a chore, like the Sheena is a chore, but for some reason I haven't... Oh, there is a child awake. All right. I will chat with you all tomorrow. I will be on because they are at school, hopefully fairly early, because I will be doing my run in the evening. So thank you so much, and I'll chat with you all soon. Bye. Yeah, Kato does sound better.